I bit. Welcome back to another episode of Toxiris Discovers. We got a lot of albums to go through, so let's get to it. Okay, saying a lot of albums might be kind of exaggerated, but we got, as always, 7 projects today. 4 from my own choice and 3 from the community. And yeah, let's get into it, bruv. So as always, we starting off with the projects that I selected for myself. And this week I wasn't really going out of my way to be hella creative or anything. I picked 2 Griselda projects and 2 Mobb Deep projects. I mean, the second one is not really Mobb Deep project, it's just a Prodigy project, but I mean, Prodigy is part of Mobb Deep. So yeah. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Westside Gunn's Pray for Paris. Now I've listened to basically all recent Griselda releases, like everything that's been released in 2020 and 2021. I hadn't heard a Pray for Paris yet by Westside Gunn, which was one of the most praised projects from that catalog. And my problem always was because I love Benny the Butcher's voice, I love Conway's voice, and I like Westside Gunn's voice, but it was very annoying to me at first because it's kind of a more high pitched voice, especially for a rapper like him. That's not what I prefer usually. But this album features great production, very good features. That Joey Badass and that Tyler feature, Jay.
How could I lose the shit that these fools will do to me? But anyway, the short and the socks hot.
I mean, the other Griselda members did their thing on this project too, don't get it twisted. And obviously, Westside Gunn performed very well. But I'm just saying the production and the features are probably what stands out the most to me. I fuck with it a lot. And yeah, it's even the story of him like going to Paris for Fashion Week and just being so inspired. He just made an album, and it turned out great. So yeah, I like this. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And just to clear this up, I'm trying to be a bit more critical when it comes to the actual rating of the album. Not me talking about it because I'm always just saying what I think, but like the ratings being going a bit lower. So you will see a couple ratings in this episode that might have gotten higher rankings in the last episodes, and this might go even further, like the rankings even dropping more in continuing episodes. So yeah, I'm just working on my ranking system a bit, my rating system. Next up, we got Prodigy's Return of the Mac, which is interesting to me because I really like Prodigy. From what I've heard him on now 2 Mobb Deep projects, and I love The Infamous. The Infamous is probably top 5 favorite old school projects of all time. I would say it's a top 10 project for me of all time right now. Obviously that can change. I haven't heard it that often yet, but just from how often I've heard it and how I experienced it. And I really liked, obviously Havoc did his part on that project too, but I really like Prodigy, so I was like, yeah, I might listen to some Prodigy solo work since he does have a couple projects out. This one was actually planned to be a mixtape for his upcoming album, but it turned out to be so high quality that it actually was just released as a full-length album. And I don't know, I like this. Not as much as The Infamous, obviously. It's hard to explain. It is very good, but it is still kind of disappointing to me coming from The Infamous and the verses on there. But looking at my own perspective in a critical way, if you try to see a verse like you get it on Shook One's Part 2 every other day, you will be disappointed. So I try to be fair to this album, and I quite enjoyed a couple tracks. It was just what you expect from someone like Prodigy, what you can expect, and pretty good. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 probably. I enjoyed it pretty much. I felt like this is not an album where you have like a lot of tracks that you add to your playlist. I felt like this is just something where you listen to the whole album and not add anything, which is fine. It's just not my type of album because I'm more the dude who listens to playlists and only listens to album he really loves like multiple times. Then we got Benny the Butcher, a friend of ours, which is 10-track long album. It's from 2018. I was gonna listen to this one before I listened to a couple of his other projects, just because the track India is on here, which is one of my favorite Benny songs of all times, easily.
I'm rolling up, stress and smoke a blunt or two. I swear you don't know what I'm going through.
I was not disappointed. I really like the reference to the Donnie Brasco film. There was like a snippet in one of the songs where just a snippet from the film Donnie Brasco, and I really enjoyed that because I recently watched that film, and it was nice just hearing that and be like, oh yeah, I know this from somewhere, right? I fuck with that, and it's Benny the Butcher. I mean, what can you expect? It's very good rapping. I really like the El Camino features. I feel like that man, even if his hooks are not like anything super special or anything extra, like really extra, they work. They're simple, they work, and they're catchy in their own way. So I really appreciate him. And I really like basically every feature from him on here. Obviously, there's better ones and worse ones. I still think his hook on India is almost unbeatable. Just from I've never heard anything better from him. But from what I've heard, I gotta check out more of his own work. Because on features, he has been very good so far. But yeah, this project overall, it's not too long. It's pretty short. But I really enjoyed it. I give it a 7 out of 10 too. Then we get to the last project I listened to for myself, which is Mobb Deep's Infamy. I actually listened to this one before I listened to Return of the Mac. And this was already kind of a bummer for me. Because I ordered this one on vinyl. Because I explained this in episodes before. I just like to listen to some classic hip-hop albums the first time when I got them on CD or on vinyl or whatever. Just because I felt like I got a different level of appreciation for them. It was not that good. Like, it was good. It had a couple tracks that I added and I really enjoyed, but something was kind of missing for me here. I can't point my finger to it and tell you what it was, but something was kind of missing in my opinion. So I don't know. I cannot really give a good critique for this album. It has a couple very good hooks. I really like the track Getaway.
From these streets like a fiend for pulling me back. It's real,
I really like that Havoc hook, gotta say. I feel like Havoc handles a lot of the hooks on the album, and some of the ones are really good. Some of the ones are just samples. But yeah, it's overall it's a good project overall, but just for my expectations and what Mobb Deep has done before, it's not that great in my opinion. I'd give it a 6 or a 6.5 out of 10. So yeah, let's move on to the project that y'all suggested. The first one being Trap Many Trap Season, which was requested by Bop and Crow. I'm sorry, dude. I'm really sorry. This project was terrible. I know you requested a couple other projects. You requested a couple that I've already heard and a couple that I haven't heard already. But as I said in previous episodes, I'm just picking one album, and mostly if it's the first one from every comment. And no, this project was just no. I've heard Trap Manny before. I've heard him on a couple A Boogie projects. And I heard his song with Pop, which was not on this project, but on a newer one. No. This project is literally a no for me. This man, damn, bro. I would just like to have a bit more voice in the auto-tune. You feel me? Because this was not auto-tune with voice. This was the other way around. And I know old head being here out here like, nah, bro, auto-tune trash. If you use auto-tune, you got no talent. That's cap, okay? Big cap. I fuck with a lot of new trap artists that do use heavy auto-tune. But just like everything, you cannot just throw on random auto-tune and everything is good. This project has... I couldn't name one line from this project. Not even one. Everything just passed by and blended in together. Generic production. No. Just no. I cannot stand this project. Literally. It has 2 good songs. The second one, which is kind of has a catchy hook. I like that one. And the one with A Boogie, which is obviously the most popular one because it's A Boogie on it. And A Boogie takes over a lot of the song. So obviously it's more popular. Other than that, this album is a no. It gets 2.5 out of 10 for my rating. That's all I can say to that. I'm sorry. Then we got requested by Yes Sir 2Chainz, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. Actually seen this album before. I've heard a couple tracks of it before because like the tracks like It's a Vibe are pretty popular, and it has a packed features list overall. I somehow never thought about listening to it until now. Obviously, I have listened to it and I've enjoyed it quite a lot. This is random as hell because I've never listened to a 2Chainz project before, not to a full length one. Maybe I skipped through one or heard a couple tracks from 2Chainz, but I never sat down and listened to a real 2Chainz project. I did now, and I was definitely not disappointed. The production, great. The features, great. 2Chainz himself, great. Honestly, like, this album might have some big features like Drake, Sway Lee, Pharrell Williams, like the Migos. Like, this has big features, and it's not even stopping there. It's going on and on. But even though the features are very great, I didn't like that Pharrell feature that much. But features like the Migos are great, and Drake did very well, and Sway Lee did really well. I feel like they're not what's carrying the album, and I feel like 2Chainz is still doing his job, keeping it together, and just making good music. So this is actually getting an 8 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed this. I added a lot of tracks to my playlist. I like the overall vibe. It's not too long with an hour runtime, but it's not like very short either. And yeah, I liked it. 16 tracks. It's just very enjoyable to me. Did not expect that, gotta say. So yeah. And then we got the last album and the last suggestion, which is by a homie of mine. Shout out to Brock FM. He recommended ASAP 12E12. Yeah, well, this is the first time I listened to a full-length project by the ASAP Mobb outside of Rocky and Ferg, and I was not disappointed, honestly. I didn't go into this album with any expectations. I think I heard a couple 12E songs before, but I couldn't name you one right now. Probably if you would play one, I would be like, oh yeah, I know this track, but oh, this from 12E, I didn't even know. So, yeah. I wasn't like a fan of his. I'm not a fan of any ASAP Mobb member besides Rocky. So this was good. It had also good production and features. Jesus, that Rocky feature? Damn, bro. I mean, it's a good friend of him, so he probably did his best thing, but damn, that Rocky feature was fire as fuck. Some of the hooks, fire. It's a good project. I really, really enjoyed that one. And yeah, I don't know what I can say. It's just good, enjoyable. I liked it. Joey Badass feature was also very good. And yeah, probably not as good as production as 2Chainz has, but this is still ASAP 12E and not 2Chainz, just if you compare them by popularity. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a 7.5 out of 10 for me. Just overall, really good. Nothing big to criticize about it. At some point, it got kind of boring at some verses maybe, but that's the only thing, honestly. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So with that being said, thanks for the recommendations. Send some new ones in the comments right now. Type them in. Smash your keyboard. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, leave some recommendations in the comments. Thank y'all for watching, and have a good one.